Yo, what's up guys? It's Noah here, and in today's video, I'm going to be breaking down the NBA slate on Draftkings for Monday, December the 26th. 7-game slate for Monday, guys. Did want to give you guys a first look for this slate. I know that, I'm recording this video on Christmas Day. Obviously, this is the day after Christmas. Hope you guys all had a really good Christmas. I got some time away from the family. All the family festivities are over for today, so I did want to hop on, give you guys a breakdown of this Monday slate. We're gonna go game by game, give a quick game by game breakdown. What I do like taking a first look at the slate on Sunday night. Before we do get started with the breakdown, though, as always, if you guys do enjoy these DFS videos, make sure you hit that like button down below, hit that subscribe button if you have not yet. And if you guys are new to the channel, check out the sponsor of the video, PrizePicks. So PrizePicks is a player prop based DFS site. Very simple and easy to use. You're just taking more or less on a player's projection. Now, at the time I'm making this video on Sunday night, the games haven't finished up yet. You can see the Warriors game is still on the board. The Suns and Nuggets game is still available. Obviously, once by the time you're watching this video, all these props will probably be gone, and then we'll be on to Monday's slate. But you can kind of see how it is. It's a player prop site, so they have projections for just about every player, and you just take more or less on a projection. They do have a free square available right now, but again, by the time you're watching this free square will probably be gone. PrizePicks, they do run these promos where they give out like discounted projections. They do Taco Tuesday every Tuesday. They do these free square promos a lot. You guys definitely need to be playing over there. If you're not signed up for PrizePicks yet, get signed up. Use promo code Noah. When you do sign up with my promo code PrizePicks, they will match your first deposit up to $100. And as always, I should have a PrizePicks video posted for today, sharing a couple plays I like for this slate. If you guys want to check out that video, it should be posted either sometime Sunday night. If there's no props available Sunday night, then I'll definitely have it up sometime on Monday. So, check that video out if you guys want to know some plays I like for PrizePicks today. But let's go ahead and talk through it, man. Talk through this Monday slate. 7 gamers, so shouldn't be too long of a video. Should be a shorter video. So we'll start off with the first game of the night, the Cavs and the Nets. So this should be a fun one, but for DFS, I don't know if this is going to be a game that I really look to target too heavily. I think there are a couple pieces, though, that are interesting. So we'll start off on the Cleveland side. Donovan Mitchell at 8,900. I haven't played Donovan Mitchell a ton this season, but I think today in this spot against Brooklyn, he's definitely fine here. This price tag feels about right for Mitchell. I think he does have the upside to pay off this price tag, though. Once Mitchell gets to 9,500, 9,600, it's really hard to pay that much for him. But when he's 8,900, I can definitely get behind Mitchell at this salary. He has 50-plus point upside. The matchup against Brooklyn, I think, is okay. Brooklyn's defense has definitely been a lot better as of late, especially since the beginning of the season where they really struggled. Their defense has really improved. So I don't think it's the best matchup for Mitchell, but I think at 8,900, he's a fine option. I think Darius Garland's a fine option as well, 7,700. Probably, though, my favorite play on Cleveland is Jared Allen. We've seen the Nets, give up some big games to centers this season. It's also, a revenge game for Jared Allen if you want to factor that in. But, Jared Allen's one of these guys that can do a little bit of everything when he's on the floor, can score, rebound, he can get defensive stats. He's only 6,400. He should play pretty big minutes here if it's a close game. I think he's my favorite play on Cleveland if I had to play anyone on the Cavs today. Evan Mobley is 6,100. I guess you could go to him as well, but I think I'd prefer Allen straight up. And there's really no value that I like on Cleveland today. And then on the other side with Brooklyn, Kevin Durant here going up against the Cavs. I don't love this matchup for KD. The Cavs have been one of the best defensive teams in the league this season. The $10,500 salary is not a price tag that I'm in love with today for KD. I think he's just kind of like a contrarian GPP option. Kyrie at 8,500. If I was going to play one of the Brooklyn guys, I probably would go to Kyrie, take the savings, $2,000 savings, play him. Kyrie's kind of been up and down this season. He's been a tough guy to predict, but we've seen the minutes really be up there lately. He's had good usage. He's been taking a lot of shots. He's one of these guys that can do a little bit of everything when he's on the floor. Kyrie can rebound pretty well. He can get assists. He occasionally can have those games where he gets a lot of defensive stats as well. So between the Brooklyn two guys, the top two, KD and Kyrie, give me Kyrie here for the savings at 8,500. Ben Simmons at 6,300. Don't love in this spot against a good Cavs defense. I'm not super interested in Simmons today. Claxton, Royce O'Neal, those guys don't really stand out on this slate, so I think that's it for this game. Joe Harris is out today, so maybe we see more minutes for a guy like Seth Curry, but I don't think Seth Curry is really going to be in consideration for value. His minutes have not even been that great lately. He did play 25 minutes last game, but he wasn't that productive. I mean, we'll probably get mid-20s minutes from Seth Curry, so at 3,400, he's a dart throw, but I wouldn't be running to roster him today. So that'll do it for that game. Let's move on to the next one, the Clippers and the Pistons. So for the Clippers, pretty important news here. Kawhi Leonard will be out for this game. I don't know if it's a back-to-back or whatever. I'm not sure. He's out for, or it looks like, okay, so they do play Tuesday against Toronto. So he'll probably play Tuesday, but he's going to sit for this game. With Kawhi out, obviously we can expect a bigger role for Paul George, and this is a really good matchup. The Pistons have been like one of the worst defensive teams in the league this season. Paul George is not a guy that I've really played much this season, but I think without Kawhi here at only 9K in a good matchup, I'm definitely interested in Paul George today as a pay-up option. I think he looks pretty appealing. He hasn't had the best season overall, but he's definitely picked it up as of late. His production's been a lot better. So, yeah, I'm interested in Paul George today. John Wall at 5,900, probably going to pass on. The rest of the Clippers I'm not, like, super in love with. With Kawhi out, we'll probably see Terrence Mann start. Maybe. I'm not 100% sure on that. I don't even know if, like, any of these guys are really going to be value plays. Like, maybe they start Nicholas Batum. I mean, without Kawhi, you should see a little bit more usage for all these guys, really, but Paul George is the guy that really, catches my eye from the Clippers. The other guy that I do kind of like is Ivica Zubac. He's only 5K. He's really cheap. I think the matchup's pretty good against Detroit. Last time they faced Detroit, Zubac put up 30 DK points. He played 39 minutes. His minutes were kind of low when he first came back from injury. He only played 23 minutes against Charlotte. But last game against the Sixers, we did see Zubac get back up to 34 minutes. Is Zubac going to play 34 minutes today? I don't really know. But if you told me we're getting anywhere near 34 minutes, I would definitely be interested in Zubac at 5K. So especially in a good matchup too against a bad Pistons team, I think Zubac's a solid value. But I'm not in love with like much of the Clippers' value today. They're a team that they have a pretty deep rotation. They can play a lot of guys. I don't know if there's going to be like a huge beneficiary without Kawhi except for PG. I don't know if there's going to be like a value piece we really want to go to. And then on the other side with the Pistons, I mean, the Pistons are not that appealing of a team pretty much every slate. Like, they run a, deep rotation. They play a lot of guys. They're just not the best offense in general. Bojan's going to be the guy that kind of does a lot of the heavy lifting on offense, but I don't love this matchup. The Clippers' defense has been really strong lately. Without Kawhi, maybe their defense gets a little bit worse, but I don't think it's the best spot for Bojan. I don't think it's the best spot for Killian Hayes. Jaden Ivey's been playing pretty well lately, so at 5,500, I think he's an okay option in this price range. Definitely still feels a little bit too cheap for how many minutes he's getting right now and his production overall. And then Jalen Duran's someone that I've been playing a lot lately. He's just been super, super consistent. He's been playing about 30 minutes a night as a starter. He should continue to play about 30 minutes a night. I think the matchup against the Clippers is fine. So at 5,200, I think Jalen Duran, I think he's okay. But that'll do it for Detroit. Don't see too much else here I really like. So let's move on to the next game, the Timberwolves and the Heat. So for Miami today, they got some questionable guys. I think Jimmy Butler is questionable. He is. I think Bam Adebayo is questionable as well. Yeah, Bam is questionable. And then I think Caleb Martin's questionable too. No, Caleb Martin's probable. But obviously, the Bam and Butler being questionable is really important news. I think for now, we just kind of have to expect Bam and Butler to play. But if these guys were to get ruled out, there's definitely going to be some appealing plays to target on Miami. So obviously the two biggest beneficiaries without Butler and without Bam would be Hero and Lowry. I think Hero and Lowry, Hero's 9,100. He's not cheap at all, but I still think he'd be viable if Butler and Bam are out. Same could be said for Lowry. I'd have a lot more interest in Lowry at his price tag. And then if Bam winds up sitting, we probably would see Dwayne Dedmon start at center if Dedmon were to be able to play. Or it looks like, okay, so Dedmon's not playing. It looks like he's been ruled out for this game. So if they don't have Bam, they might start, I know they started Udonis Haslem recently in a game where Bam was out. Maybe they do that. I don't think Haslem would be DFS viable. They could go small and start Jovic at center, assuming he's with the team. I think he is. So, we'll have to pay attention to that. Again, for now, I'm just going to assume that everyone on Miami is playing. If that's the case, I don't really like much on Miami today because the price tags are all pretty right. 9,400 for Butler, 9,100 for Hero, 8,700 for Bam. Those salaries feel correct, in my opinion. Butler would probably be my favorite play just because I think out of all the Miami guys, he has the most upside. I think his role is the most consistent. I think most nights you're getting 40, 45 DK points from Butler, and he'll occasionally have those games where he puts up 50, 55. Obviously, at 9,400, you kind of need a 50, 55-point game from him, but he definitely has that in his range of outcomes. Don't love much on Miami, but Butler would be my favorite play if he's in. If he's out, if Bam is out, then obviously there would be a ton to like. Hero, Lowry, Oladipo, and then value-wise, whoever starts for Bam would be in consideration for value, assuming it's not fucking Haslam or something. And then on the other side with Minnesota, so Anthony Edwards is going to continue to have a really big role without Karl Anthony Towns. Going to continue to lead this team in usage. I don't love the matchup against Miami, but Edwards has shown a lot of upside lately. Even in some tough matchups, he's been able to produce. I think he's more of a GPP option, but Edwards is fine if you want to go there. Russell, I think it's kind of the tough spot for Russell. Don't love him at 7,400. Tough spot for Rudy Gobert as well. I think the 7K price tag looks appealing, but Miami has done a really good job limiting centers this season. Bam is a really strong defender. If Bam gets ruled out, I think my interest in Gobert would definitely spike. Like, I would have a lot more interest in Gobert if Bam were to sit today. So we'll have to pay attention to that. Obviously there'd be a lot to like on Miami if Bam is out, but I think it would also benefit Rudy Gobert. If Bam plays, then like Gobert's just like, he's solid, but I'm not super in love with him at 7K. And then the rest of Minnesota, I'm not really that interested in. I know Kyle Anderson's questionable, but I don't think, even if he gets ruled out, like I don't think it really matters too much. I don't think it changes too much. So we can go ahead and move on to the next game, Houston and Chicago. So we'll start off with the Chicago. They're not a team that I really love to target when they're fully healthy, but obviously this is a really good matchup against the Rockets. So I think DeRozan, Vooch, LaVine all kind of look solid here. I do have some interest in these Chicago guys today just because it is a smaller slate. It is a really good matchup as well. DeRozan's 8,400. I think at this price tag, DeRozan definitely has the upside to outperform the salary, especially in a really good matchup like this. So I do have some interest in DeRozan. I think it's a pretty good spot for Zach LaVine as well. We've seen guards have really good games against the Rockets this season. They've given up a lot of big games to scoring guards. So I'm interested in LaVine. I think Vooch is in a solid spot too. Honestly, if you're playing a lot of lineups, I just want to like mix and match these Chicago guys now. I don't think I would be playing, like I wouldn't make a lineup where I play all three in the same lineup, but I think one of the three, maybe two of the three is totally fine with me. Again, I'm usually not a big fan of these Chicago guys when they're fully healthy, but today in a really good matchup against Houston, these guys do look pretty appealing. And then the rest of Chicago, I'll probably pass on. Patrick Williams has been getting some decent minutes lately. He's not the best per-minute producer, though, and his price tag is not like that cheap. So not super interested in him. I know Caruso was out last game, and we did see Ayo Dosunmu start. He was solid, I think. He played 33 minutes, had 27 DK points. Really good matchup for him. So I think if Caruso's out again, I do have some interest in Ayo as a value play. Right now, there's really not any value on this slate. So Ayo would be someone worth considering. I think Kobe White would pick up some more minutes as well. He'd be a GPP dart throw, but obviously Ayo's the guy you feel better about. That'll do it, though, for Chicago. And then on the other side with Houston, you got KPJ at 7,100, Jalen Green at 6,800, Şengün 6,200. I don't know if there's like any standout plays from the Rockets today, but the guards here, KPJ and Green, I'm fine going to like one of these two guys. I think one of them probably outperforms their salary. I mean, when games are competitive, when Houston keeps games competitive, usually it's because of KPJ and Green. And we see a lot of times in competitive games, both those guys are going to play like 34, 35 minutes. Between the two, I think I would take KPJ here if I just had to pick one of the two, but they're going to play big minutes. Obviously, usage is going to kind of run through these two guys. So I'm kind of interested in the Rockets, their guards here. And then Şengün at 6,200, he's okay. His per-minute production's been better as of late. Minutes have still not been great. Like, Şengün is not playing massive minutes this season. He's only playing like 28, 30 minutes a night. So when he's only playing like 28, 30 minutes, it's hard for him to really go out there and dominate and really kill you. But I mean, we saw last game he put up 41 DK points in 27 minutes. Like, he has that kind of upside. I mean, he almost had a triple-double last game. I think Şengün's okay, but again, when he's only getting like 28, 30 minutes a night, it's really hard for him to just completely bury you unless he just goes out there and like averages 2 fantasy points per minute or something. And then like Jabari Smith at 5,300, he's a solid mid-range play, but he's another guy that just hasn't flashed a ton of upside this season. I say that, and then last game he has 45 DK points, but normally Jabari Smith is going to put up like 25, 30 DK points, which at his salary is solid, but that's not really like going to win you anything. He feels like someone you could maybe play in cash games, but like for GPPs, I do kind of question the upside on Jabari Smith. Rest of the Rockets, I'm pretty much off of, so let's go ahead and move on to the next game. We got a few more to cover, the Pacers and the Pelicans. So for the Pelicans today, they will be getting back Zion Williamson, who was out, I believe, the last 2 or 3 games due to health and safety protocols. He'll be back for today. So with Zion back, looking at him first, really good spot here against the Pacers. I mean, the Pacers don't really have anyone to slow down Zion here, and the Pacers have been playing at a really fast pace. Zion did put up 51 DK points in 33 minutes last time he faced Indiana, so I'm interested in Zion as a pay-up option. I think he's going to be fairly low owned because his price tag is pretty high. At this salary, I don't think he's going to project like super, super well. So as a tournament play, I do have some interest in Zion. With Zion back, I'll probably avoid CJ McCollum. I know McCollum's been playing really well lately, but I think a lot of that has had to do with Zion being out. McCollum, he should continue to benefit without Brandon Ingram, but now that he's 8,600, I think he is priced correctly, especially with Ingram or with Zion back. So not super interested in CJ today. J-Val, I think I played J-Val every slate when Zion was out, and like he had that huge game against Milwaukee, but the other two games were pretty terrible. Or the last two games, I should say. I think the game against Milwaukee, I think Zion played that game, if I remember correctly. Yeah, Zion played that game. The last two games without Zion, like, J-Val's been super disappointing. Knowing how DFS goes, like, watch Zion come back today, and then J-Val puts up, like, a massive game just because that's how it goes. But with Zion back and his price tag up to 6,700, I'm not really interested in J-Val. I'll pass on him. Rest of the Pelicans pretty much off of now that, Zion's back. Guys like Herb Jones, Trey Murphy, Najee Marshall, I'm not really going to be playing those guys. And then on the other side with the Pacers, don't love much on the Pacers today. Halliburton, Miles Turner, they're always viable options, but neither one look that great on this slate. I think Turner at 6,400 is okay. If this game stays competitive, he should get pretty good minutes. He did destroy the Pelicans earlier this year, put up 62 Draftkings points in 36 minutes for what it's worth. He's only 6,400. We know Miles Turner has the upside to really pay off this price tag, so if I had to play anyone on Indiana today, I think Miles Turner would be my favorite play, but I'm not super interested in many Pacers here. I think that'll do it for this game. So next game, Utah and San Antonio. Looking at San Antonio first, I don't love a ton from San Antonio today. Keldon Johnson is 7,300, Devin Vassell's 6,900, Trey Jones 6,300. These guys feel priced, they all feel priced about right. Keldon Johnson's, going to be the guy most nights that leads the team in usage, and per minute wise, he's usually the best fantasy per minute producer on the team. But the price tag feels correct for him. Devin Vassell, I think the price tag at 6,900 feels right for him as well. Same could be said for Trey Jones. Favorite play on San Antonio probably would be Jakob Poeltl, just because it is such a good matchup against Utah. We've seen Utah really get killed by centers this season. Now, since Jakob Poeltl has come back from his injury, he's yet to play more than 22 minutes, which is obviously concerning, but the last few games he's been in foul trouble in like all those games. So I think if he avoids foul trouble, we do get close to normal minutes from Jakob Poeltl today. I don't know if he's even on a minutes limit anymore. I think he's just been limited because of foul trouble lately. So yeah, 6K Jakob Poeltl against the Jazz, a team that gives up a ton of fantasy points to centers. I do like Jakob Poeltl in this spot. I think he's my favorite play on San Antonio. That'll be it for San Antonio though. And then on the Utah side, Lauri Markkanen has been playing incredibly well this season. It's as of late, had some big games. Really good matchup here against one of the worst defensive teams in the league. I wish he was a little bit cheaper. 8,300 is a lot to pay for Lauri Markkanen, but the matchup is really good. So I could see Markkanen having a good game here. I think at that price tag, he's more of a GPP option. Not a guy I'd be considering like in cash games or anything. Jordan Clarkson, I think it's a good matchup for him as well. At 6,800, I think he's like a solid mid-range play. Without Kelly Olynyk, we should continue to see probably Walker Kessler start at center. Pretty good matchup for Walker Kessler against a really bad defensive team. I think Kessler's in a good spot at 5,400. I kind of like him as a value play. I think Jared Vanderbilt's minutes should be a little bit more secure without Kelly Olynyk. I think at 5,500, he feels priced about right, but it's a playable option. The rest of Utah, though, like Conley and Sexton, these guys I'm pretty much off of. It's really, Markkanen, Clarkson, and Kessler, probably my three favorite plays from Utah here. But that'll do it for that game. Not a ton that I love in that one, but definitely a couple plays I wanted to mention. Last game of the night, though, the late night hammer, Charlotte and Portland. So we'll start off on the Portland side. Really, really good spot here for these Blazers guys. Obviously Charlotte is a team that we like to target. They play at a pretty fast pace, and especially with LaMelo Ball back, this is a team that's going to play fast. They're not the best defensive team either. Their defense has really struggled lately. So really good spot for Damian Lillard. I think at 9,900, Lillard looks like a really good pay-up option today. I do have quite a bit of interest in him, and his price tag has come down a little bit too. We saw Lillard priced at like 10.6. 10.7. Well, now he's down to 9,900. At 9,900 in this matchup, I can definitely get behind Damian Lillard as a pay-up option here. Like him quite a bit. The rest of the Portland guys like Grant and Simons, I think they're fine. It's a good matchup, so I wouldn't be surprised if like one of those guys has a good game. Really, really like this spot for Jusuf Nurkic, and I made him the thumbnail for today. I mean, we've seen centers just get destroyed by Charlotte this season, and Nurkic should be able to dominate here. Now, the one concern with Nurkic is that he is coming back from an injury, and we've kind of seen his minutes somewhat kept in check lately. Last two games since he's come back from injury, 23 and 21 minutes, so he hasn't played a ton of minutes, but he did foul out last game against Denver, and I think he would have played more than 21 minutes had he not fouled out. Even if we might only get like 28, 30 minutes from Nurkic, but I'll take 30 minutes from Nurkic at 6,200 against Charlotte. Like, he could put up 45 Draftkings points in 30 minutes here. This Charlotte team is just so bad defensively against bigs. They give up a lot of points in the paint. They're really bad rebounding, so this could definitely be a spot where Nurkic is able to dominate on the glass, get a lot of putbacks, get a lot of points in the paint. love this matchup for him. I think he's a really good play at 6,200. And then Josh Hart at 5,600 is solid, but not a guy that I really ever get excited to roster. He's just kind of like he feels like a safe floor play, but his ceiling is really really limited. And then on the other side with Charlotte, LaMelo Ball's been playing really, really well lately. Been getting big minutes too. He's going to play big minutes if this game's competitive. The price tag's up to 10,200, so I think LaMelo is priced correctly today. He wouldn't be out of play for me, but I think he definitely is more of a contrarian GPP play. I think his ownership will be very low since his price tag is so high. But he's been playing well, so it's kind of warranted. I mean, the price tag should be where it is. I just don't think, at that salary, LaMelo's really going to be like a priority play for me. Oubre, Rozier, they don't really look that great at their price tags. The rest of Charlotte, like Gordon Hayward's been pretty mediocre this season. Even when he plays big minutes, like he's just not the best permanent producer. He feels like he's very similar to Josh Hart. He'll probably get you like 25, 30 DraftKings points, but Gordon Hayward's one of those guys that's really, really unlikely to just bury you. Like he's not going to go out there and put up 50. Watch him do it because I say he won't, but usually you're getting like 30 DraftKings points from Hayward, and that's not great at 6K. It's solid, but it's not going to win you a tournament. And then Mason Plumlee at 5,900, not super interested in either. So that'll probably do it for Charlotte here. And I think that'll do it for this Monday 7-game slate. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, man. Again, hope you guys had a good Christmas. Enjoyed the holidays. Wanted to give you guys a kind of a quick first look breakdown of this Monday 7-game slate. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button down below. Hit that subscribe button if you have not yet. And again, if you guys are new to the channel, go check out PrizePicks, the sponsor of this video. You guys can sign up for PrizePicks, use my promo code NOAH. You look at the bottom of the screen. When you do sign up with my promo code PrizePicks, they will match your first deposit up to $100. And I should have a PrizePicks video posted for today. It'll definitely be up sometime on Monday. I don't think there's going to be any props available Sunday night, so we'll have to wait till Monday to get the video up. So definitely check the channel out sometime on Monday afternoon. Should have a video posted sharing some plays I like for PrizePicks today. Check that out if you are interested. But good luck on the slate, guys. Hope you all enjoyed the video. Hope you all, again, had a good Christmas, and we will see you guys in the next one. Peace.